Hello, welcome to the Ideal Auto Factory. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Compcorde. I was able to take it to an actual track and drive with other people, tandem, and just have some fun laps. This is a very fun car to drive. So this video, I'm going to be going into detail on what I think needs to change, and then also changing that so you can see it for yourself. Keep God first. Let's get into this video. Now with the Compcorde, the front end is pretty well set up, but as you can see, it's really high up, and that's because when the body's on, it sits about here. And when it sits here, this is what the Ackerman looks like. It sits about here, and the Ackerman looks like this. Now, to most, that's really great. It even gets better because it's almost parallel, as you can see there. But as you raise it up really high off the ground, you got a little toe in there, and then when you turn, it looks almost perfect. But toe in is not great. Like, that's toe in, and then we get to normal, and then see, you get about a lockout right there. So I need to work on figuring out what is the best course of action for fixing that. And my first step is to take the upper arm right here and raise it to the second hole, which is right there. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so that did not fix the issue. So when it goes low, this is what it looks like. And then, but that is toe out. But I want to remove a lot of that bump steer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm looking here. You can tell the steering links are more parallel instead of matching the angles of the upper and lower arm. So now I'm going to take this ball stud right here. Take that ball stud, put it on the bottom, because that's how the RDX is originally designed anyway. I think we found our fix here. This is a lot more promising as far as Ackerman is concerned, because this is completely 90 degrees and that's out. And look at that, we got toe out. So if we bring it and more toe in, these will equal out and become more parallel. So yeah, now I have to lengthen the steering links. So now the ball cups are changed. I changed them to a longer one because the steering link was too short to actually, that standoff right there was too short to work with the curved rod end. So I went back to this straight rod end, and that Ackerman is looking a lot better, way less bump steer as well. So there goes that. And then when you raise it up higher, does not change too much like it did before. One more thing I didn't mention, I ended up reducing the caster to the lowest setting. So I pretty much pushed the lower bracket all the way back. Now, I'm going to tell you the length of the lower arm, where that ball cup is at. That is a total of 19.5 millimeters. And then on that ball stud, there's a spacer, and that's 2 millimeters. There's no spacers on the steering link ball stud, and there's about 1 millimeter on the upper ball stud. Now let me show you on the other side. You can see 2 millimeters there. Also on the top, I'll end up putting a 1 millimeter spacer there instead of it just having the gap. And that pretty much does it for the front end settings. Now, I would have driven this and shown you how well it drives, but I'm having a little idler issue, and I think most of us are. I know someone who has made the MST idler gear work in there, but I'm just gonna print a new shaft and a couple other things. So stay tuned. If this video has helped you, then the next video you should watch is on the screen right now. It builds directly on what you just learned. I'm always sharing information on RC drifting, the ins and outs of how chassis work and electronics, and also just valuable information based on what products are out there. So consider watching, keep God first, and I'll catch you on the next video.